Islanders, you better be good. That's what Carnival Cruise Line just shared in their latest media release. We will share the things that Carnival Cruise Line said to do and don't do on the show today. We're also sharing news from the government of the Bahamas as they say they are set to implement new taxes on cruise lines because of their private islands. We'll share that with you. Plus, the U.S. government sharing that one Caribbean port of call that a lot of us visit is now safer than what it has been. We all need some time in the islands. Let's go there now on Island Time. Happy Monday, June 2nd, Islanders. Welcome to Island Time. Welcome to the month of June. Thank you for stopping by the show today. We are on Island Time. I am Derek. Let's drop our anchors and catch up on everything going on in the cruise news world. There's quite a bit going on. We're going to start the show with Carnival Cruise Line as they shared reminders over the weekend for all of us cruising this summer. Here's what we are asking you to do. Here are the expectations, and here's what you cannot do. I'm pretty sure Carnival Cruise Line shared some of these things last year around Memorial Day. I think they were effective. And as long as Carnival Cruise Line sticks to what they say they're going to do, if you break some of these things, they will be effective. And we've seen Carnival Cruise Line do just that. Have fun, be safe. Remember, that was born in the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic. Have fun, be safe. Those protocols have changed. They once were revolved around the pandemic, and now they're revolved around having fun on board and doing things that you're supposed to do as passengers, and then eliminating conduct from certain passengers that we do not do. Carnival has reminded us of how to behave on board, and some people need it. Amanda and I cruise 10 plus times a year, and some of these reminders are needed. You can share with us as we go through some of them of, oh, yep, I'm glad they said that. Or no, I don't see that as an issue on board. The first thing is kids. Carnival reminding those who are 17 years and younger that they have a curfew they have to abide by. If you're roaming the ship, you can do so until 1 a.m. But after 1 a.m., you have to be in the presence. You have to be with an adult. And I think this is fair, guys. 1 a.m. is late. Mama used to say nothing good happens after midnight. Mama probably told you that. Carnival Cruise Line letting these 17 and below kids stay out until 1 a.m. if they want to, but if they're out after 1 a.m., they have to be with an adult. I'm glad they reminded them of that. No running up and down the hallways. Don't knock on my door and run. I don't want any of that action. Go to your room. Get some rest. Enjoy the next day. They've banned handheld fans on the dance floor as well for safety reasons. They don't want you slipping and falling and trying to catch yourself when you got a fan. They don't want you turning around while you're doing some salsa dancing and swing and hit somebody. No fans allowed, although I do see an increased presence of handheld and neck-wearing fans on board cruise ships. I usually bring one myself, actually. And I love this next one that they're emphasizing. Wear your AirPods, your earphones, when you're in a public place, when you're FaceTiming grandma back at home. You're saying, hang on, grandma, I'm almost to the buffet. I want to show you what they got today. Hang on, granny. You guys have seen those people. Sometimes they're on the elevator. Sometimes they're in the hallways walking around. The elevator ones are my favorite ones because when you step in the elevator, your service is not as good. You're in a metal box within the elevator shaft, a metal column. They're still all around you. What's Granny? You're breaking up a little bit, Granny. I can't hear what you're talking about, Granny. Yeah. She may not be able to hear what you're talking about, but the other 8 of us in the elevator can hear you loud and clear. Please wear your headphones when you're on the phone with someone else or you're listening to something. Bring them with you. You may like your conversation, but we don't. Carnival Cruise Line is saying, hey, wear your headphones. Don't go on speakerphone. Don't bring your speakers. I like that rule. Do you? Carnival Cruise Line also saying no drugs. Carnival, I would say one of their greatest gains the last year and a half has been what they've done to address this issue. I've had many balconies over the last several years and stepped out there and I can hear the breeze. I can hear the water. I want to smell the fresh breeze, and instead I smell something else. And it's so close to me, I'm waiting for someone to reach around the balcony and say, hey, you want some of this? Carnival Cruise Line saying no. They've brought in the drug dogs. They've brought in enhanced screening. They have fined people. They have banned people. And it is working. Carnival Cruise Line not only is setting these rules in place, but they are applying the rules. When rules are broken, there are punishments for the rules. This communication from Carnival ends by saying this: any guest who violates these policies or whose conduct affects the comfort, enjoyment, safety, or well-being of others will be disembarked at their own expense and banned from sailing on Carnival in the future. Kudos to Carnival. Thank you for sharing that as the busy cruising season begins. I like it. Islanders, do you think that this communication is effective? And have you seen a more positive change? If you have cruised Carnival the last year and a half, do you think that these reinforcements and setting the expectations, as sometimes we have to do as parents, do you think it has worked? Let us know in the comments section below. We're sharing news today also from the government of the Bahamas. They're sharing news that they're not necessarily happy with all the private islands that are being developed and the cruise lines and cruise ships that are going to the private islands, because when these ships go to their private islands, they don't come to the public ports, and therefore the local people who live in the Bahamas are not supported. The tax revenue, the dollars that have been invested by the government of the Bahamas, they're not put to good use. And the government of the Bahamas is telling these cruise lines, this isn't necessarily working out. We need more revenue. You guys are visiting our islands more than ever, but we're seeing less revenue than what we have seen. Listen to this. The government shares this. In 2024 alone, cruise visitors numbered 9.4 million. Almost 10 million cruisers is crazy. A 20% increase over the year. The numbers, of course, they're huge. 9.4 million cruisers. But a lot of these cruisers are visiting private islands. Cruise lines don't own their private islands. They actually lease the land from the government of the Bahamas. And you know, just like I do, Royal Caribbean and Carnival and Disney and Norwegian and MSC, they're trying to do everything they can to make sure that the most number of ships and the most number of sailings can visit these private islands as they can, because these cruise companies make money. If their ship is in their private island, then all the excursions offered are at the private island. They are making more money than ever because of these private islands. And the government of the Bahamas says, hey, we want a piece of that pie. We need a piece of that pie. And so the government is starting to bring in or introduce this notion that they're going to tax all the imports, all the food has to be brought in and delivered to these islands. We're going to tax those things so that you can continue going to the islands if you want to, but we continue getting some revenue and some positive things from your ships and your cruise passengers visiting these islands. We're going to see what happens here. I think it's fair. I do think this is fair because the government of the Bahamas has invested so much in Nassau over the years. That cruise port has completely changed and remains a very busy cruise port. But these are leases, like I said. Perfect Day at Coco Cay is a lease. It's a private island, but it's a lease. Celebration Key is a lease. These cruise lines don't own the islands. The government there, the Bahamas, they have to get what they need, right? They're seeing less ships visit the public ports. Therefore, things have to change just a little bit. We don't know yet how exactly this is going to change cruising. I don't think it will much. Could some of this tax and this increase be passed down to you and I? Probably so. But at the end of the day, it's probably the right thing to do. Islanders, for your upcoming cruises, do you have a private island booked? Is your sailing visiting one of these private islands? Let us know in the comments section below. Before we leave the show today, I wanted to share this news. This is from the United States government in relation to a very popular port of call that a lot of us have been to or we will visit in the immediate future. The travel department, the State Department, releases these travel warnings and travel advisories all the time. And we're used to these travel advisories coming out, and the travel advisory is raised, where it's not as safe to visit one of these locations. It happens all the time. Rarely do we get this announcement where it's lowered, where it's now what the U.S. government says is more safe or not as much of a risk to visit these places. And that's exactly what we have today with the island and the country of Jamaica. The U.S. government saying it's more safe now to visit Jamaica than what it has been. This comes as Marco Rubio visited Jamaica in March of this year. Over 1.4 million cruise passengers visited Jamaica in 2024. And of course, there are a lot more to visit this year and the years to come. The U.S. government is lowering the security level from a level 3, which means reconsider your travel to Jamaica, to a level 2, which says exercise extreme caution, which I think a lot of us do everywhere anyway. This is in a direct result to an 18% decrease in crime that we've seen in Jamaica, although there is still a lot of crime in Jamaica. And the U.S. government made this loud and clear. They shared these two things. Listen to this. U.S. government says, while violent crime in Jamaica has decreased since 2024, it remains statistically high throughout the country. Tourist areas generally see lower rates of violent crime than any other part of the country. The homicide rate reported by the government of Jamaica is among the highest in the Western Hemisphere. Armed robberies and sexual assaults are common. Use extreme caution. But at the end of the day, I want to share this news because it is good news that what the government is doing there in Jamaica is working, that violent crime is indeed coming down, that tourist areas are safe, and a level 2 warning here is lower than some of the other places that we see throughout the Caribbean. So if I were visiting Jamaica, I would get off the ship. I have in the past. I would again. Are you visiting Jamaica this summer? Do you plan on getting off the ship? Let us know in the comment section below. Islanders, that is the cruise news for today. The show always goes by so fast, but I hope you had fun. A couple things before you leave today. It's a few things, really. Make sure after you've listened to all this that you share your thoughts, your opinions on the stories that we have shared with you on the show today. Before you leave, also, we ask that you like the show. It will put this show in front of other people who are looking for cruise news in a cruise community just like this. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure if you like cruise news and vlogs and ship tours and all of it, you're subscribed to the channel. Ring that bell to receive notifications when we upload new content. Islanders, we will see you in the comment section below, on our Facebook page, and tomorrow right here on Island Time.